Hello, all you lovely people out there in YouTube land. Guess who it is? It's me. It's everything animated. You never thought you'd see my ass again, did you? Well, I'm back at it again. And this time with a special guest. He calls himself Sea Tactics. Say hello.
Hello, I am the Sea Tactics. I am your co-host for the evening. I do many things. Somersaults are one of them.
He's very good at them.
I am very good at them. I practice them. I'm practicing them right now. I'm so good you don't realize it.
It's amazing. It's one of those things where I'm just like, are you doing it? And you're like, hold on. Doing another somersault. Let me do this. Here we go. I just did 500 and you didn't even know.
I'm that good. I'm like a Dragon Ball Z character.
Yeah. It's amazing.
So what are we doing today?
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing there, Home Slice. We are reviewing a show called none other than Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Just rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, and it is always surprising with these Japanese titles. They do not make any sense sometimes when you translate them literally. And even this one, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but, I mean, does it, though?
No. I mean, especially after watching the show. Who's Rascal? I mean, he's not technically dreaming. He can see her.
Hey, Bo, I'm Rascal. I'm here. They didn't add me in the show.
And, it's, at least they got one part right, which is Bunny Girl Senpai. She's a senpai, but her name's not Bunny Girl. She just happens to dress up as one, I guess. But
that was a weird scene. We'll talk about that more. But
yeah. Well, speaking of which, I guess we should tell the lovely folks what this wonderful show is about.
We should.
Lay it on us there, Sea Tactics.
Well, it is kind of a supernatural, I don't want to say slice of life, but it has like a school setting and looks like it's got some comedy, a little bit of romantic tension going on. But more specifically, what happens in episode 1, I guess, is episode 1 starts off with Sakuta, who is our main character. He's kind of like, he reminds me of and this anime is going to be compared a lot to Snafu by many people, but who is the main character of Snafu again? I forget.
Hachiman Hikigaya.
Hachiman. He's very much like Hachiman in spirit. But the episode starts with like a kind of like a flash forward of him just waking up with his sister. No, that's after the opening. I apologize.
Say that happens later.
Yeah.
But I mean, just
he wakes up.
guess.
He wakes up and he goes over to a table, which there's his diary, and he reads it, and it's basically I think he says, like, you may not believe this, but do not forget, and then someone's name is blurred out. You don't really know who it is. And then after the opening, by the way, killer opening. Gotta talk about that opening. So catchy. After that...
It was pretty good.
Yeah, after that, the episode starts, and they're in a library, and the other main character, Mai Sakurajima, she's just walking around in a library in a bunny outfit, of all things. And she walks right up next to Sakuta, and Sakuta's staring her down like, what are you doing here?
I mean, like a normal person would do. They'd be like, hey there, bunny girl.
You're
are you
not
here to
on
read
drugs.
Something? Are you here to read, or
what are you taking?
and then everybody seems just not at all surprised by it all.
Yeah.
And then I guess later we find out the whole reason why nobody's freaked out is because
she's got
of something called, you say it,
adolescence syndrome, which makes people forget her until, not only forget her, but nobody will ever like see her again at some point. She'll just vanish. And that's why she's walking around a library. I assume, and it was not explained in this episode, but I assume she's doing it because like she's trying to get people to notice her.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it too. Is that basically, I mean, to be honest, if you really want people to notice you, just walk around naked. You know what I'm saying? Just go for the jugular, so to speak. You know, if you want to get people's attention, sure, bunny outfit, you know, that's definitely eye turning, but naked, whoa. Now that is something.
She's in high school.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, that does sound pretty wrong. But what I'm saying is, if that was her goal about wanting to get people's attention, that's the way to go about it. But again, I guess she's, believe it or not, a character and not an Ichi character. Like an Ichi character, she's actually a well better character and wants to have clothes on. So
yeah.
we'll have bunny clothes on. Who don't enjoy clothes? I love
clothes are awesome. But basically, both of these characters, you kind of, throughout this episode, you kind of get introduced to them. Not as much as I would like them to be, honestly, but that's kind of a gripe I have of the first episode. But, like, throughout the episode, we see that Sakata has kind of, like, he's friends with this guy named Yuma? Yeah, Yuma. And
it's a
he
wonderful
has
city out here in Arizona.
He has a girlfriend who just does not like him at all, and he told her off. And
what does she think that he's gonna do? Like, steal him away from her and start giving him back rubs or something? Because I'm just like, yo, back off.
She mentioned about the hospital incident. Which,
oh yeah.
I don't know what the hospital incident is at all, or what that means.
Didn't they say it had to do something with what happened to his sister or something?
Something like that. I think it, because her sister had that really weird thing happen to her where she got one day like a bunch of cuts on her and bruises and stuff.
Yeah, she was getting all them cuts just happening, you know, like right in front of him, and he's just like, what
which is why they don't have a lot of technology in their house, because apparently it happened after she was on her phone and was getting like a bunch of like basically like death threats and lots of messages of violence against her and stuff like that. And so like Sakata, the character, says he threw his phone in the sea because of it. I thought that was a really nice line. But really, I mean, both of our main characters, Sakata and Mai, are just kind of assholes. Like, they're really mean to each other and spiteful. Like, there's this one scene, it's a really funny scene, where he takes her back to her apartment, and he starts taking off his shirt. And there's a weird thing, like, etchy, whatever.
Yeah, and he's got them scars.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to know how I got these scars?
And she
Touch
walks,
them.
Yeah. She walks over and touches him, and he acts like he's moaning and stuff like that. It acts like he's enjoying it, and it's just he's such an asshole, and I love it. Both of these characters are.
And then we have the very cliched, you know, someone walking in while something awkward is happening.
Yes.
This is walking in like, I got some cupcakes, and what? What the? Oh, yeah. Hey, you know, I don't know what knocking means, but I'm just gonna go. What? What the hell?
Yeah, that was a weird thing. But this actually, I kind of like this whole scene where they were in his room, because, like, you know, it introduced the sister character rather well, and that's one of the strengths of the writing in this episode, was just that scene, because it's funny. We got a character was introduced, and it didn't feel like it lasted a long time. It felt like we got in and got out, and all the important stuff was needed. And like you could even tell when Mai said that she appreciated her introduction, like Kaeda, I think is her name or something like that, she appreciated that, like her talking frankly to her, and that was a really nice little moment as well.
Yeah, they definitely. I have no idea where the show is going to be going. But so far, I'm definitely intrigued, because just based off the title alone and the cover art, I was literally thinking this was just going to be some random, ridiculous show, and guys just, you know, like falling over his own self going, oh, a bunny chick, oh, I love it, and shit. But it's actually a lot more, I don't know, like grounded and serious in a
Yeah.
way, as ridiculous as that would sound for a title like that.
The tone
You know?
is rather. This may not be the right word necessarily, but like kind of vaguely melancholic. Very like laid back. It's almost self-aware of some of the traps it could fall in, and I think that's
Yeah.
like, for example, the sister walking in and like misunderstanding, like that could easily have went a different way, but it
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't go that way, and
I know. I was expecting her to come in and just slap the shit out of him, but he just kind of explained himself and said, "Oh no, it's fine. It's cool. She's a girl from my school," and then it just kind of ended.
And it was, going back to the first, the first scene of the show, the library, when she's in the library and walking around half naked. He doesn't like do anything weird about it. He's just like, "Excuse me."
He doesn't get no nosebleeds.
Yeah, he does.
It's
It's refreshing, And he reacts in a way that kind of like Hachiman would, and I really like that because I like Hachiman.
Yeah.
That's one of the things
Yeah.
I loved about his character, and we
Yeah,
need more
Hachiman's the
anime
best.
with asshole characters like these, and that's one thing I really like is they're both assholes. They're so unapologetically assholes too. Because
Yes.
it makes sense. I guess we didn't explain this about her at all, but like, if you've seen the episode, I don't know why you're watching this when you haven't seen the first episode, but
Watch it, damn it.
yeah, watch it. It's pretty good for a first episode. Like, she's a child star, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
kind of makes
I
sense
guess
for
we
her
did
to
kind of skip over that.
yeah, it makes sense kind of for her to be, on the defensive a little bit, expecting things, I guess. And I don't know, it's just interesting, and there's a reason why she's an asshole. And same for Sakata as well. He's just an asshole. Like, that's just his personality. Like, he just comes off that way. He doesn't like go out of his way to show it. He has a couple friends. There's this great line where he's like,
I don't give a fuck.
where she's like, so you're one of those people that doesn't have a lot of friends, and he's like, yeah, I have two, but I don't need more than that, I guess. So I guess I'll have to keep those for the rest of my life. And I'm like,
Right.
that's a pretty good line. That there is a lot of really cool like character developing little stuff in there.
And didn't he say something to his friend's girlfriend whenever she's like, "Don't talk to him," and he was just like,
What, are you on your period?
yeah, just like, "Yo, is there a reason you're acting?" And she just storms off like, "Oh, how dare you?" And it's like, yeah, stuck it to her.
Yeah, it was a great little scenes like that. Just like really made this episode I think so far it's probably the best first episode out of the whole season. Of so far.
So far, it's really good. I like it, and I'm curious to know what will happen next.
Yeah. Oh, same here. Also, going back to that scene where Kaida walks in, and I like the thing she says when she interrupts. She's like, "I didn't know you called a professional lady," and I'm like, "That's so great."
And the fact that she was cool with that, and not like super jealous like these sisters that love to have sex with their brothers for some reason.
We haven't talked about the scene where he wakes up and she's sleeping with him. And
that part definitely. When I first saw it, I was literally like, "What is going?" It's another one of these.
Yeah. And she made like the weird, noise thing where she breathes in and makes that weird mouth noise, and I'm like, "Oh God, don't do it." And it was actually kind of sweet. And she says like, she's like, half of Kaida is the like love for her brother or something like that. There's just a really sweet scene, and he's like, he just rubs it off. He's like, little brother shouldn't be into their little sisters. I don't know, like, who would be. Oh no, the exact quote is, "Who gets excited over their little sisters?" And I'm like, You said it, dude. You said it.
Thank you. Praise
Thank
Jesus.
you.
Praise
Amen.
the Lord. Testify.
Like, yes. God, and this the writing is so self-aware to not fall into these tropes, and it counteracts those tropes and just subverts your expectations with just ease. Like, it's just so smoothly. And that line of like, who gets excited over their little sister was just like, I loved it. I was like, yes, I'm definitely gonna watch more episodes of this just because of that line. Like, you've given me a reason.
And you understand why she crawled into bed too at that scene,
right? Yes.
Like it was the whole, her going through that, and for some reason she was getting carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey right in front of her brother, and that's when you go, oh, she's scared, she's this timid, she's probably still afraid of something like that, and her brother saved her, and of course that would be something that it made a lot of sense when you put the pieces together. And to me, whether it be movies or whether it be shows, I like things where you put the pieces together and you think about it instead of it just being shoved in your face and you go, this is why this happens.
Yeah, anime's really bad at that.
It really is.
Really bad.
Everything's announcing, like, I'm doing this because you killed my father, and it's like,
I'm going to go talk with my friends.
We know you're doing this because you killed his father. Why do you have to announce it? But shows that are, like Snafu and stuff like that, where you can actually see what's going on versus, seeing it versus them telling you is what I really like about movies and shows that are done well.
The core kind of things, like the things that I want from an anime to give me on like the first episode is to be creative, to not overly, just not be a first episode for an anime. And it's very difficult for anime not to do that overly explaining stuff, because it's always based off manga, which manga you have to, like, just because of the medium itself, you have to describe what you're doing because it's page by page. So that makes sense. Like, I could see that, but for like a light novel that Snafu is based off of, it makes sense why it didn't have any of those issues. I don't know if what is this based off of? This is based off of a light novel.
Manga. Oh, it is.
Yeah, well, so that's why it works.
They need to base more stuff off of light novels and not mangas. That's what I am saying from here on out.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I don't know, just this whole show is so far in this first episode has really just impressed me. It's not perfect, it's not without its faults, but before we get into that, there's one thing I want to say. There's the scene in the library, or maybe it's a little bit after, I don't remember. Whenever they're talking to each other and they're trying to figure out each other's names, and they're asking how they spell it or something like that, and Mai replies, "You spelled Mai by saying by spelling Mai, and then you spell Sakurajima by spelling Sakurajima." Just like a total asshole, and I'm like, God, I love these characters.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But there are some things I didn't really like about this episode.
A lot of things that are definitely unanswered for sure. Like, what the hell is this adolescence?
Yeah, that's such a vague
syndrome?
thing.
And why does it make her become invisible?
Right, and that's really bad pacing on their part.
Yeah.
Just trying to, like, they don't explain it well in the first episode, and I think that's because of the light novel medium as well. Just because, like, when you have a light novel, you can just spread it out a little bit in the first couple chapters. But I definitely, not only that, but like, there's just some stuff that the show pointed out, like Sakata was talking about how she should go back to acting. And he noticed because he saw her look unfavorably towards the sign, and they didn't really point that out at all in the show, that she was looking towards like a movie ad or whatever it was. I didn't catch that, and I watched the episode 2 times. Granted, the second time I watched it for notes. This could just be me, but I did watch it 2 times, and I do like the train sequence quite a bit. Those are kind of the main 2 problems, is that scene where it's like, I didn't, like, I guess now that you explain it, it makes sense, but I didn't catch that. It feels like it wasn't represented well enough in the train sequence of what was going on there.
Yeah, perhaps that could have been done or executed a little better.
That's probably bad directing, I would say.
Yeah.
Or producing. Probably producing. Bad producing.
Yeah.
But and the other thing is the pacing issues where it's just not explaining stuff as well as it could.
Yeah, and I figure it's probably going to explain more the more we keep watching it, I'm sure. I would hate to think that by episode 8 we still don't know how this whole thing works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would hope that by the later episodes we'll be like, okay, this is why this is happening, this is why she's like this. And yeah, we should know by then. And also, I guess because technically, like you said, the first scene begins 3 weeks into the future, and then it immediately goes, 3 weeks into the past. Is this whole show gonna be in the span of those 3 weeks, and then it's gonna end, or is it gonna keep going after that?
I think it'll probably keep going afterwards, but not too long.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's only gonna be
because he's got to get the girl
episodes
at the end.
Do you think he's gonna do that?
I think he's definitely gonna have to get the girl at the end, but I don't think he's gonna I think he's gonna save the girl. I don't think he's gonna be yo, let's make out.
He's not gonna ask for, hey, put on that bunny suit, girl. I saved it. Let's take this.
I think it's gonna
next level.
And that's where I think the show is gonna subvert your expectations nicely again, because I think it's gonna be he's not gonna do it because I think he will probably end up developing feelings for her or something like that. But I don't think he'll do it because she's a person who needs help. He's not going to do it for his own selfish reasons.
Right.
So I think that's going to be solved pretty easily. What do you think about the scene composition, the art? I don't know if you talk about it that much.
Not really. I mean, it wasn't anything that just blew me away or anything. It seemed pretty basic, honestly.
It definitely looked like a light novel. It looked very reminiscent of Snafu, the two main characters. I mean, the bunny girl looks like God. I don't remember any of their names.
Looks like God.
It looks like God. And the bunny girl is definitely God. But no, the black-haired girl in Snafu looks a lot like her. Sakuta looks a lot like Hachiman.
I want to say you don't know black hair girl's name?
I don't remember, no.
Yukinoshita.
Definitely wouldn't remember that.
Yukinon.
But
sorry, she calls her Yukinon, but her name is Yukinoshita. And then Yui Yugahama. I know all the names because I've only seen that show 5 times or a lot. One of my favorites.
I mean, the backgrounds, I don't think the backgrounds stand out too much. I'm just skimming through it right now. They seem very kind of light novel-ish. I think where the show really kind of excels is definitely the character compositions, and whoever's doing the character designs for this, they're really good at capturing that kind of light novel look, but adapting it over to anime, because usually light novels, their characters have this, this thinner kind of look to them. I don't really know how to explain it. Spice and Wolf is a good example of what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. And then once they adapt it to anime, they give it a more full kind of anime, more rounded, I guess, would be the right term. And I just like the character models. And I mean, there's some scenes where you can see reflections off of windows in the train sequence.
Yeah.
The backgrounds are fine. I mean, they're good. They're good backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
They're look very sharp, very clean. There's a lot of use of Gaussian blur, I'm noticing, which that could get out of hand. But
geez, yeah.
Yeah, don't use too much Gaussian blur. It's usually bad. And I mean, it's fun. It's a good looking show. That's for sure. One of the best looking? I don't know about that. I think this is a Cloverworks show. Yeah, this is from Cloverworks, I think they did Darling in the Franxx, which was a pretty good looking show. They did slow start, which was
Dolly in the Franxx. I thought Trigger did that.
Cloverworks, Trigger, and A1. We're all on
A1
board on that
steak
one.
Sauce. Okay.
Yeah, A1 steak sauce. They did Persona 5, the animation. They're doing a Fate anime next year. Everybody gets a Fate anime. Aniplex has decided. They got enough stories to go around for that series. Visually speaking, from my eyes, it looks pretty good. I have to watch it more, but it definitely doesn't seem like it's using any advanced techniques besides Gaussian blur. Which
Yeah.
I don't think that's a really advanced technique. I think it looks kind of ugly.
Like I said, it just looks pretty basic to me. I wasn't like looking at the animation going, wow, how did they do that? That's so amazing. You know what I'm saying?
They did animate Boob Jiggle, though.
Did they?
They did.
I didn't notice.
When she was
Was
in her
it
bunny
with the
outfit.
bunny? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, she's probably not wearing a bra in that thing.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I didn't really notice.
You're guessing of the jiggle?
I'm not saying, I was looking.
Yeah, I'm not saying I noticed the jiggle. I saw it the second time for notes,
I mean, other than that's kind of all I got, pretty much. It's very impressive for the first episode.
Yeah, it's got my attention. I mean, unless they do something like they pull a complete 180 the next episode and they go to all the stuff that we said, that they were basically they were taking chances and they were doing great with, and they're like, no, you know what? Let's make them generic and absolutely stupid. then yeah, I might turn away from this, but I'm definitely gonna stick with this until I don't know, they find a way to screw up, and whatever happens, I guess.
So, I guess we can tell the viewers that this will be a weekly thing. What day are you planning to upload these? I assume it's gonna be like whenever you can get them up, right?
Yeah, whenever I can get it up. I know I've been bad in the past.
Oh God, phrasing.
No. Okay, I'm talking about uploading. Damn it, get your mind out of the gutter. Yeah, I've been horrible in the past, but I guess you can say I've caught my second wind, and I'm looking to definitely get back into this, and I feel as if doing the podcast way has helped me get back into it a little more versus the way I used to do it with editing. I still plan to do that in the future. It's just gonna take me a little longer because I work, I have a kid. I'm a pretty busy man when I'm not doing this. Not to say that other people who do this just have all the time in the world. I'm just one of those people that I'm a busy man. But yes, expect this to be a weekly thing, and I'm back, baby.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have you and Satsuki the Savage, and also, of course, my good buddy Rising Sun Reviews to thank for for getting me back into this thing, because it's been a wild ride. It's a lot of ups and downs, and I'm definitely on the upswing now.
So we should tell them, I guess, now that you mentioned Satsuki, we should definitely mention that we are 2/3 of the King of Anime podcast.
That is true. I am 1/3. C Tactics is 1/3, and Sasuke the Savage is 1/3 of a little show that we like to call the King of Anime. We do this every Saturday on C Tactics Twitch channel.
Twitch.tv/C Tactics.
I was gonna leave a link below, but if you want to type that in, go for it. Yeah, we do that every Saturday, and he explains it better than I do, but I'll do my best. We pick some shows, we see which shows that we like, and if there's any we want to get rid of, we say kill that mother with fire.
Definitely.
and
definitely with fire.
Yeah. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Check that out Saturdays. Like I said, I'm part of it. C Tactics is a part of it, and Sasuke the Savage is a part of it. He's a nice gentleman as well.
Yeah, And you can find the VODs over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/C-Tactics FTW, or just /C/C-Tactics. I don't know. Links will probably be somewhere in the description.
Yeah, I'll put down a lot of links. I'll
Yeah.
put down links for C. I'll put down links for Satsuki. Even Rising Sun, even though he had nothing to do with this video, I'm putting him down there because, you know, he said when he reached 250 subscribers, he would make a hentai review, and he's gonna do it. So, you know, let's get him up to 300 so he can make another one.
Let's definitely get him up.
Yes. There we go with the words again.
Well, I can't help it. It was the bunny girl.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fit boob physics. What can I say?
We should get you to 150.
I would like to get to that. You know what? I would like to get to 100 just so that I can say that I'm in the triple digits for the first time ever with subscribers. Because I've had, I don't know, like 5 channels, and they all were not done very well. They were just kind of, you know, mess around channels. Back when YouTube wasn't that popular, I just made random videos with my friends when I was in high school. But now, this particular one, Everything Animated, it's definitely one of my more successful ones, and I would like to get to 150. I mean, don't just do it just because, you know, you feel like obligated. I do want to create content so that when you are subscribed to me, you'll be like, okay, this guy he's a baller.
Exactly. So get him to 1K.
Yeah, get 1K.
Yeah.
Jeez, my microphone just peaked out when I did that. I'm sorry.
2K.
No, I mean yes, but I mean just. Well, whatever happens. All right.
Like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but like this video if you liked it. Subscribe. You want more? Ring that freaking bell. And yeah, I guess from Everything Animated, that's it for me. See?
Bye-bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, home slice.